indulge in the Dutch food. Thank you very much. So Dutch cuisine, eetsmakelijk. Does everyone know what eetsmakelijk means?
It isn't delicious or isn't?
Eat is eat and smakelijk tasty. So that's what it is. And it has been said very much in the Netherlands. And it's like bon appetit or enjoy your meal.
Right.
Yes. And bon appetit. Yeah, thank you, Claudette. And eat tasty, exactly. And the Dutch cuisine is hidden in plain sight. And it's quite amazing because it's very similar to the Dutch. Oh God, sorry about this. It's very similar to Dutch character, to the point and non-pretentious. It is what it is. You don't have to worry what it is, and you don't have to worry which fork you should use. And it's simple and comforting food, and no need to be anything but you. So just go for it. And there are two strands. There's a traditional is traditional, and not much has changed over the centuries. And then there's oh God, oh, sorry about that. And then there's the influences like Indonesian influence, like you said, Amy. That's the other one. And then we have surprising things, which is sweet breakfasts. This is something new that I never thought about, but it is a lot of the time breakfast is sweet here, depends on the person. And wheat, that is tarwe, is very important and prominent. So there's a lot of bread around. So if you have a problem with wheat, you have to be careful. And peanuts are also it's satay sauce. It's an Indonesian dish again. Then it's a dish on its own, so you know what it is. But it's often used as a food additive as well. So people, if you have a problem with peanuts, be careful, because you might find them in somewhere like in bread. So in my course, we go into the Dutch food into more detail. And now we will have a look at the general Dutch cuisine. And these are the principles of Dutch cuisine before we delve into it more detail. And I think that food reflects a culture in large. So maybe there are some tips you can understand Dutch culture in general. Gezellig is important. Being gezellig. Oh, I got 3 L's there now. So that makes it clear. Gezellig. Can someone let me know what gezellig means?
Is it like cozy?
Yeah, that's one thing. Cozy. Cozy company, gezellig, comfortable. It's very sort of familiar, nice thing to do.
Lovely.
So, lovely. That is also lovely, cozy, happy. So it's more important to be gezellig than to have elaborate meal. So that's very important. And that's food is taste, as sweet is taste, because sugar is that's tasty sweet, because sugar is very comforting, but it's also used, it's also a flavor enhancer. It's home cooking, very much made at home. So that's therefore you don't really see it. It's simple cooking and you don't see it around you. But it's also easy to follow a recipe. You have many influences. You have European, global over time. European could be said it's haché, it's a meat dish like hatchet, haché from France, and Indonesian rice tafel from Indonesia. And I said Indonesian influence is very prominent. You have lots of spices from Indonesia, which was a bit surprising to me as well when I came. It's like, okay, let's get used to all this. And there are restaurants with any cuisines in the world. You can find them anywhere, especially in Amsterdam or in the big cities. But you don't really find any Dutch restaurants anywhere. There are lots of calories in snacks and cheese, so if you are prone to put on weight, be careful with calories in snacks and cheese. And there's also lots of cooked and fried food, so you might, if you have any digestive issues, you might be careful with that, or might want to put an extra portion of salad there. And now this was a general background, and let's have a little more detailed peek here. So that's, as I already said, Dutch cuisine is simple home cooking. It is easy to try. So try it. Take a recipe and try it. The winner is always bread and breads, that is broodje kaas, and potatoes, that is stampot. Here you see, it looks lovely, doesn't it? Let me sink my fork in that one. And when you mention what is on the menu, you always mention the potatoes first, vegetables, and then vegetables and meat. So in England, you would say meat and 2 veg. Here you say potatoes, 2 veggies, and meat. And vegetables are around all year round, so you get fresh vegetables all the time. Cheeses are very important. I'm sure you have seen the Dutch cheeses. There's a cheese for every single occasion in the world, so that's lovely. And the snacks. These are the most prominent part of the cuisine. We all know, we've all heard about bitterballen. Well, they are not really snacks. They are bitter garniture. We come to that in a minute. But the snacks are there all the time. Snacks, snacks, snacks. The Dutch is a nation of snackers, street food. And here's a bitter garniture. And this is drinks, borrelhapjes. You go for a drink and you ask for borrelhapjes and you get a nice plate of food in front of you. And if you may call it a dinner as well. Then there's the thing that baffles most foreigners is hagelslag. And you see that in the top left-hand corner, that is chocolate sprinkles, and you have it with breakfast. That's what it is. You have it with breakfast. And then you have the sweets. This is apple tart. Let me play with this one. Apple tart, which is because the Dutch is an apple producer country. You have lots of lovely apple dishes. Tompoes, which is a wonderful example of how food travels. Tompoes is a French dish, but the name comes from an English cartoon character, Tom Thumb. And it is very popular in the Netherlands. That's how it all goes around and round and round. And then you have the borsjebollen, which are chocolate eclairs filled with lots of lovely cream. So that was the Dutch cuisine in short. And I hope it helped you to view the food stalls or the supermarkets in a new and more informed way. In my course, I'll talk more about the Dutch food. And let's talk about some new ways to